Hey guys, and welcome to Pheas Software. Today I've got a massive honour, courtesy of Delta Armory, of unboxing a brand new out STRIBOG SP10A3 by Delta Armory. Hey guys, and welcome back. If you do enjoy this content today, please do consider liking, commenting, subscribing, because those interactions help me get seen by the YouTube algorithms. That helps my channel to grow. If you want to support the channel a little bit more, visit all my socials. That's on the link tree down below, including my Discord is on there. And the channel memberships down below, join button, will take you to YouTube channel memberships, where you can pay 99p a month and see all my swearing escapades where I mess up shots and things like that. Totally optional, really appreciated. Massive, first of all, what I want to say is, first, big shout out to Delta Armory that have sent me this and said, do an honest review, okay? And I'm like, awesome, I can't wait, this is going to be fantastic. So I'm going to get to be very honest about this, and I'm really excited to do this. And then secondly, Patrol Base for helping make this happen as well. They have enabled this to happen and got this out to me, and I literally I am excited. Full disclosure, I have already, of course, I've already had it out of the box, and I've done the shooting test because I am an impatient bugger. So I am. Let's get into this because I am excited to do this, and I am a day away from using this for a game day tomorrow. So I want to get it out and running and tell you all about it. So Delta Armory then partnered with Grand Power, that are the maker of the real steel STRIBOG that comes in all sorts of variants. I have been extremely lucky that I have got the Grand Power, the upgraded version without two-tone in olive green, the Alpha one. So it's the CNC aluminium upper. So they do CNC upper, and then they do a polymer upper, and then they do this one's got the MOSFET in it and 16:1 ratio gears. So the other models have got like 18:1 gears and things like that. So it depends where you fit on that spectrum and things like that. So I've got the top model. The box is quite lovely. I quite like the branding, and the extra mags come, which I really like. It's such a poxy little thing to be like impressed with, but I like that the mag boxes matched to the gun box, so it's easy to spot, and I like that a lot. It makes me happy. So Delta, it's a nice little touch. So we're going to spin this around because I'm getting bored of telling you about the box. I do like a nice box. So I've got a manual. I like that stock there with the mags. So the real steel one's chambered in 10mm. We've got a manual here that just tells us about accessing the battery, the mags. We've got QR codes to access the sort of the programmable MOSFET and things, which I'll do a separate video on later. Obviously manual repeating several languages, but you can get that on their website. Here we go. Oh, look at that beast. Oh god, that's exciting. So got little bags of Jellica. That is an essential. I do like a big little bag of silica gel. We've got a teeny tiny little Allen key. This is not the one to get into the battery space, so keep that in mind. We've got our 100 round mid-cap magazine with the fake rounds in there. That looks really nice. It looks even better when you've got all of the mags. Look at all that. It looks so nice. I'll get those out of the way because I'm being an absolute pleb. So the mag, absolutely gorgeous looking, and here comes the STRIBOG. I hope I've said that right. I do apologise massively if I've not said that right. And the rest of the box is just the foam to keep our little pew safe. It does come, first thing, like, where is the stock? It comes without a stock. But what it does have is an M1913 mount for you to mount your choice of stock on there. Now, first things first, this is about 1.8 kilograms in weight. So it is not unwieldy. It's quite pleasant actually to hold. You could quite easily run that all day. And it's slightly front balanced, sort of front weighted, but not like horrifically where I want to just drop it all the time. So just obviously comment on the weighting then. So let's start at the front. So we've got this little compact muzzle brake here. This does come off as a 14mm negative thread, meaning that you can accessorize to your heart's content. With the little logo here, we've got confirmation that this is on M-LOK rails, and it comes with 2 rails pre-installed, ready for you so you can accessorize further. And they are particularly nicely cut. It looks like CNC work, I'm guessing. They are nicely cut. There is no sharp edges, so you know, with gloves, with bare hands, you are not going to rip your skin on anything on there, which is particularly nice. And then we've got an integrated bottom rail as well for further accessories. Do apologise if you can hear the rain on the windows. It's raining terribly at the minute. We've then got a top rail, which has got some little integrated sort of pistol style sights. I don't know how well my camera can pick up on that. Probably not very well down there. Not very well. But we've got a little split sight here, and we've got the front pin one down here, and we've got our charging handle, which has got like a little rubber pad on it. It can be removed. I'm not sure if that's just on for transportation or if it's supposed to be part of it, but the rubberization just helps make it, you know, easy to grab hold of. And when I pull that back, what it does do, which makes me happy, is it's quite nice to click, but it locks open our ejection port and it gives us access to our hop unit. And then we press our forward bolt release and it pings. Nice little touch. I like it when they do that. It's pretty simple to do and implement, and it's just a nice little feature to put in there. Moving back then, we've got Grand Power, designed in Slovakia, so we've got the branding of the original manufacturer of the real one, and obviously on this side we've got STRIBOG SP10A3 and our sort of Grand Power logo as well. Lovely markings on it etched into the body. 10mm auto. We've got our serial number matched down here, so you know that the two have gone together as well. And then we've got our lower, then we're coming into our lower, so we've got this lovely flared mag well. So this is all polymer, the bottom half on this one, and the mag is almost like a straight up push, ever so slight angle to it, and clicks in very firmly and release. I will go and get the Well Pro SMG mags in a second just to see how they compare to them, but I'm pretty sure these are proprietary because they are a bit chunkier than what 9mm mag would be. We've got our bolt release then integrated into the lower receiver here. We've got effectively a two-way, three-way mag catch where there is three ways to release the mag. You've got a button this side, you've got a button there, and you've got the button there. So you've got options for how you want to get your mag out of that receiver. Really enhanced, oversized trigger guard. That's really, really nice. So you've got plenty of space. I mean, I've got pretty big hands, and then with gloves they're even bigger. And that is still oversized for those, which is lovely. Really nice texture on the pistol grip, which makes it really comfortable to hold, really nice to hold. And our ambidextrous selector that clicks really firmly into place and works just as easily from both sides of the selector. And I really love the trigger. I think the little serrated front edge, the little sort of triangular cut of it, I think it's a beautiful little piece of engineering there. And then last but not least, we've got our stock mount there, which is the the 1913 mount, not M1913. To get into here, I use a Torx 10, so we're just going to put that in there, locate it. So this is probably not a battery change you're going to be able to do on the fly in game, but one screw and this hinges slightly out the way, and our battery sits down inside that top space there, and it's wired to Dean's, and there is a there is a QR code for the user manual for the MOSFET as well. So chuck that back in there for now, and that can go back in. And the last thing I want to show you before I cut to the shooting test, in fact I'm going to leave that out for now, is the base of the pistol grip. Get that out of the way, which is a little pull button type there, so you can pull on that to flip that open. That's a really nice touch, sort of quite deep into the pistol grip as well, where the retaining pin is, so that plastic's not easily just going to break and warp over time. Genuinely, it's so lovely and well built, and it feels so solid. I'm just holding that on, it's not screwed down. Like, I'm shaking that, and the only thing that's shaking is a little bit of the charging handle assembly and the, there you go, look, dust cover, the ejection port plate. Like, solidly built, really solidly built. It just feels fantastic. There's no creaks, no movement. Awesome piece of kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut to the shooting stuff, and then we're going to talk that through, and then we'll do the glove, and we'll talk about the mag and everything. .297 max, 251. That's a random one. It might be same bit of diluted bottle, it's a bit random, but averaging to 89. Obviously this has been downgraded from by the store or the factory. No hop. Sort of just over 12 rounds a second. It sounds fierce as hell. Wow, I am loving this. Wow. Jesus. 21.5 rounds a second. That is fierce as hell. That's so satisfying. STRIBOG. Ooh. Jesus. That's well over 50 meters. Jesus. Straight as a laser. Okay, so I am back. And basically, like, the listing says that they are the same internals as the Freya, and I can honestly say I can see that it shoots so phenomenally well. It's like a bloody laser beam, and I know lots of people use that all the time. You know, considering how many of these things I shoot all the time, the fact that they are all going in the exact same direction to the same, pretty much the exact same point, it's just beautiful. It's such a nice piece of kit to fire. Absolutely loved it. It sounds well shimmed, and it turns over really lovely, and just sort of just like a buttery smoothness to it. Most of the shooting test, the range test and everything, is done in a 7.4. The only one that's not is in 11.1, which I'll talk about in a second. The mags all fit and fed absolutely lovely, as you would imagine that they would do. So in terms of rate of fire, then range well over 50 meters, easy 50 plus meters, and that's doing like just under 300 FPS, which is the UK limit. These from the factory, if you're buying them in Europe, I believe they are up close to about 400 FPS, which is, you know, pretty standard in and around Europe. So obviously it's something to think about and know that they're up around that level. Mine is just a UK market specification. One thing I will say is Patrol Base contacted me and said that if you are running sub 320 FPS, you may get issues, particularly so if you're a UK market customer, you may get issues with pre-engagement and jamming if you are running 11.1. But if you get to sort of 320 FPS, which they're saying they found in the store that a 120 rated spring was giving them about 320, 330, they were no longer getting those issues, and it ran lovely. But their sort of online store should be updated that, and obviously if anybody's got any other updates, please do comment below. So rate of fire then, 12.5 rounds a second on a 7.4, really respectable, you know, really sounded smooth, just ticking over. Obviously heard my reaction when it set off, like the sound of it, just, it sounds fierce, that 21 nudging towards 22 rounds a second. It's not the fastest we've ever seen, obviously not, and it's a 16:1 ratio gear set, but it just feels fierce, and it just, the massive, you know, I don't show my face, but the massive smile on my face was like, oh my god, this is awesome, and it felt fantastic. And like, I'm not gonna lie, I've been given it and I've been told to be really honest, I am really clutching at stupid straws with anything bad to say. The only real issue I've got is that it didn't come with a stock, and that is such like a clutch at straws in terms of its raw performance and things like that. It has no right to be as good as it is. You know, even the mags are sort of like 10 quid a mag, like an entirely reasonable price for these things. The fact that it shoots as well, if not, you know, certainly as well as the Freya Gen 2, if not ever so slightly better, just like, guys, Delta, well done. Like, everybody else should be taking note of, you know, it's not hard to do these things within a very reasonable budget, and I'm trying my best to say bad things about it if I really can. The only other bad thing I can say is the battery change. That, like, we're really clutching here at Straw. So I'll just drag my battery tub out and we'll look at what batteries fit. So I'm back with a variety of batteries then. So we saw that I used a Torx 10. It's not actually a Torx screw. I just find that Torx head screws fit better into what should be a hex head or an Allen key screw. So I've got space down there. So what I've done is I brought all my short ones. Now, you could try a longer one. Unfortunately, even at maximum depth, that backplate's certainly not going on with that. But if I compare that out, we've got a significant amount of space still to get these saws in. So we'll have a look at 7.4. Then I've got a 1450 Nuprol lipo, and that shot there should allow you to go and find that kind of sizing. That fits nicely in there, and I've got room for the wiring as well to go in and out the way. That's going to be quite nice. I've got a 1000 milliamp 7.4. Again, that goes way down in there, and there is loads and loads of room. You can see where we're going with this. I've got a Bigfoot 850 milliamp 11.1. I'm not sure if that will go, just because it's quite chunky. That one isn't going to go. So if you've got a Bigfoot 850, that's quite a chunky battery. That will not go in there. I don't want to force it because we know what can happen to lipos. So I've got an 1100 11.1 milliamp lipo from Nuprol again. That is, it's a snug fit. It is a snug fit, and I'm going to struggle to get that in there past that little catch there. So put that one to, I don't want to damage and expose the wires. I've then got an 1150, like the 850, that is just not going to go in there. And then last but not least, I've got an 800 milliamp VP Racing one, 11.1, and that's also not going in. So those 1450 went in absolutely lovely, and the Giant Power one went in lovely. 11.1s, you're going to have to sort of make sure that it is particularly slim. Those 1100s, I mean, it goes in. I dislike the amount of sort of like it wasn't forced, but you know, it's kind of rubbing on this material here. That is a tight space. So just something for you to think about. There's some contact space. Now I'm pretty trigger happy, so I'd probably need 2 of those 1100s to run me an all-day game day without any issues, or any sort of battery. I'm probably going to need at least 2 to get me through a game day, because Pheas likes to pew. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick that back in there. And we'll do the gloved operation. Just before I do, the mag is a mid cap. There's no winder underneath. So this is just a long spring inside. So you need something like a speed loader. You fill this up with BBs. I mean, if you want to sit and push 100 BBs in one by one, you go for it. But we just basically push that down and we just use that in. And these come in different shapes and sizes. So like this one, I think is a 470 round. This is an old Tokyo Marui one that is still knocking about. And we just release it. And we're just pushing those BBs into there. Please do not leave these loaded between game days unless you're literally going the next day, because over time you can damage those springs and they become weak, and then they may not feed the BBs out properly and stuff like that. So just keep that in mind, that they are supposed to be released. So to release the BBs out, just did it at the side of it. There's a little pull tab there. You pull that, and the follower inside will just pop the BBs up and out. So we'll do the gloved operation then. Now I've talked through the mags, because I still can't find my proper unboxing ones, hence why I'm using these, which are my actual playing gloves. Ooh, bracelets in the way. There we go. So in terms of charging handle, absolutely easily. The hop is a roll down to hop. Again, I can visually see that I'm rolling it. I'm not really getting any tactile feel. I just know I'm touching something. Easily operate the bolt release with no issues whatsoever. The mag absolutely easily can go in, and all 3 of those release buttons all are very easy to use. In terms of the mag, I can very easily get hold of a speed loader and fill that up. The trigger guard, as I said earlier, massively oversized, really like comfortable to have my hand in there. The pistol grip is really lovely to hold. The weight is so nice, really comfortable. Get that back in there. The battery, with some fanning about and taking that out, I can probably do it in game, but it's not ideal to sit in game and start giving it this with the screwdriver and changing your battery out, so things like that. So it's probably going to need a little bit of pre-planning of when you're going to do it. So maybe at lunchtime, that kind of thing. But generally speaking, it's like, other than no stock and getting to that battery, and I'm kind of really clutching straws really there. Like, the performance is fantastic, the feel of it is great, really nice looking piece of kit, just functioning bolt stop, programmable MOSFET, like what a package, what a setup, just absolutely phenomenal. I absolutely love the Delta Armory stuff I've had so far. So I will leave the usual photos at the end. A massive shout out again to Delta Armories and to Patrol Base for making this happen for me. Like, I cannot even begin to express enough gratitude for you all. Please do go and check out the STRIBOG on Patrol Base if you are in the UK. Genuinely, thank you so much for that. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time for a disassembly video, and there will be a MOSFET programming video as well.